Hey everybody, it's Jim on Veterans Day with the Friday video. I've got a couple things I want to mention, but first I want to thank all of our veterans, those that work with us, those that are our customers and donors. You can kind of see behind me here, I have a little monument to my dad. This is the flag that draped his coffin when he died. It was given to us by a group of military servicemen. And then you can see the picture of my dad and some of the things from the war. He served in World War II in the European theater, and I always called him every Veterans Day to make sure he knew I was thankful for him. And in just a minute, we're going to talk with Tim McMullen, who's the head of our unarmed security detail, who is also a veteran, and we're going to get to know him a little bit. All right, first, every once in a while I get an email from somebody, a customer, sometimes a donor, and here's one I got just recently with a shout out for our store in Guthrie. So this lady, who I'd met previously when I was in Guthrie, wrote to me and said, "Hello there, I just wanted to fill you in on your store in Guthrie. The store looks really great. Every single employee always greets me and makes me feel at home. There are two employees that really stand out, Rochelle and Mickey. They are always so diligent with their work. They take so much pride in their job as if they own the store. All the things they do add up, and the store always looks so organized." So thank you to Rochelle and Mickey, Tara, all the folks up in Guthrie, and they provide a great model for us. All right, I just got back from Charlotte, and we attended a conference. Frank Holland and Sophie Schweckheimer and Amerlet and I went. And a couple of the authors that we heard speak wrote this book, Growing Fairly, How to Build Opportunity and Equity in Workforce Development. So we're going to be reading that, and we learned a lot about storytelling and how important that is. So hopefully we'll be able to apply what we learned. All right, well, let's get to Tim. There he is. And thank you so much for agreeing to be in the Friday video.
Sure.
Tim said there was nothing that he would rather not do than do this, but he was very kind to agree to it. So, all right, I've got a few questions I sent you ahead of time. Why don't you, I guess I'll ask them and then you can answer them. How's that? So, all right, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to Goodwill.
Well, I was in the Marine Corps from 1987 to 1991. Immediately became a security officer when I got back to Oklahoma. I've been wearing a badge in some capacity since 1991. The bulk of my career was with the Department of Corrections, and I retired from them about 3 years ago and came to Goodwill to be the security manager.
All right. What motivated you to join the Marines?
I came from a life of service. My father was in the Army. He did 21 years in the Army. All my uncles were in the military. I joined the Marine Corps. My brother joined the Air Force. Both my sisters married Army soldiers, so we're a big military family.
Yeah, very good.
My dad said to me, honestly, the answer to the question is, my dad said he didn't care what I did with my life as long as I was better than him. He was in the Army, so I joined the Marines.
Well, apologies there to our Army vets.
Sorry.
So, all right, tell us a little bit about your job. What are the things that you like the most, and what are your biggest challenges?
What I like most is hiring young officers in the beginning of their career, watching them through their learning journey, watching them grow and become professionals. The biggest challenges we have is that we've grown so fast here at Goodwill in the last 6 or 8 months. And we've gone from about 25 officers, about 70 officers. And we had just a handful of locations, probably 7 locations, and now we're up to 26 locations. So we're growing, we're continuing to grow, and that's a good thing, but it is a challenge just keeping track of all of those moving parts.
Yeah, good. All right, so to wrap up, what advice, and I usually ask, what advice would you give to us about being good employees at Goodwill? But today, I'm going to ask, what advice would you give to us about how we can best honor our veterans, the ones that we know?
A simple thank you is the easy answer there. Me, myself, and most veterans that I know, we never hoped to be thanked for our service. It was just a call to duty, a call to serve. And to be thanked, it always just makes me shrink shyly and say thank you and walk away. And just if a veteran reacts that way, that's normal. Deep inside, they're great. They're grateful for the gratitude, but it makes us uneasy. Sometimes we don't know how to accept the thank you.
Quick story, I took my dad to Washington, D.C. He was probably in his 80s, and they had built the place to honor the World War II vets. And so I took him down there, and while we were walking around, two different uniformed servicemen came up to him and said, "Sir, did you serve in World War II?" And he said, "Yes, I did." And they said, "Well, we want to thank you for your service." And then they saluted him. And Dad said that was the best day of his life. He felt so proud. So, all right. Well, remember, we still got some hours left in Veterans Day. Make sure you thank a veteran. And thanks for all that you do for Goodwill. We've had a great October. It was an outstanding month, the biggest revenue month in our stores that we've ever had. So, Tim, anything else?
No, Semper Fi.
Okay. All right. We'll see you next week. Thanks.